Hi, this is Steve again with John Knox Village. We're here to do another behind the scenes, and today we're focusing on public safety. And I'm going to get to talk to one of our public safety officers and have a look at one of our electric vehicles here. So let's do it, let's go. All right, I'm here with one of our public safety officers. You want to introduce yourself to everybody?
Hello everyone, my name is Mike Bara. I am the Public Safety Security Officer Lead. I'm in charge of all of our security officers out in the field.
All right, how long have you been in the village, Mike?
I've been with the village for a little over 2 years.
Okay. All right, we got a few questions for you today. I hope that's all right with you. And then we're going to have a little bit of a closer look at the electric vehicle that we have here for public safety security at John Knox Village. So we'll take a little bit of a closer look at that and how that works. But first of all, Mike's going to answer some questions for us. So let's go. So the village uniquely has its own dedicated public safety department. Tell us about their role and what the department entails.
So with our public safety department, it includes dispatch, transportation, EMS, and security. Between all the departments, we roughly run about 1,300 calls, so 1,300 calls a month. Between all the departments, we respond to all emergencies on campus, between EMS and security. And
okay, so what is your training for doing a role like this for the village? What is your background?
So my background, I've also been a firefighter EMT for the past 10 years, and had 4 years of active duty military service. So I've kind of seen the action, and you kind of get used to being quick on your feet and decision making. So all of our security officers are also licensed EMTs as well, so we can provide immediate care before an ambulance actually arrives.
What does being an EMT mean for those of us out here watching that don't know what that stands for? What is an EMT?
EMT is emergency medical technician, and we're all at the basic level. So we're not paramedics. Those are on our med units, so they're there for the more serious calls. But our security officers as EMT basic, so we assess the situation and see if a higher level of care intervention is needed.
So a lot of the times you are the first to arrive on scene if anybody calls.
That's correct.
Security or public safety, you're the first on scene to assess the situation and see what needed from there. Okay.
And that also includes maintenance calls, and housekeeping calls and welfare checks. Our security officers are the first on scene to assess what our residents actually need at that time, and then we delegate it out if we can't take care of it ourselves.
And how many public safety security officers are there working at the village?
On shift, we have 2 security officers on 24/7.
Okay, 24/7. You're here. I've seen your vehicles driving around the village. You're constantly driving around, putting checks on things and just making sure everybody's kind of safe, and then you respond whenever there's a kind of emergency call.
Correct.
You're the first on scene.
So basically our typical day starts out, we check out our vehicles, and then we start patrolling the campus area. We have 2 of our officers out patrolling at all times.
Okay.
So you'll occasionally see them sitting in a spot, and they're basically looking for any suspicious activity, just kind of waiting for the next call,
right,
but making sure nothing's going on in that area.
Okay.
And then we rotate through our areas.
And that must be a huge sense of relief for the residents to see you out and about, patrolling the area, making sure everybody's safe.
Yep, we love to see them, and we get waves all the time, and we love waving back.
All right, thank you. All right, so that's a good introduction to what your department does, and I thank you for that. We're going to have a look at these vehicles here. I think we got a few questions about those as well. So these are electric vehicles, aren't they?
Yes, 100% electric.
So when did the village switch to these electric vehicles?
So we switched over to the electric vehicles about 4 years ago. Previously we had Chevy Equinoxes, which was your regular standard SUV, gas powered.
Okay, so what was the reasoning for us to switch to electric? What was the...
So we did a cost analysis of what the maintenance is over the we did it in intervals. So we did a cost analysis of what it cost for us to keep the Equinoxes up and running and in good condition at the 3-year, 4-year, and 5-year mark. And then we cross-referenced that with how much it would cost for our electric vehicle maintenance, and found out that it saves quite a bit, since all electric doesn't require oil changes and numerous other things that standard vehicles that are gas powered would take.
You must be saving a huge amount in gas just alone, because how many times you drive around the village each day? Do you know how many miles do you do?
Our average officers do roughly 76 miles a day.
Okay, so when you add that up over time, that's quite a lot of gas you'd be burning through on a regular vehicle. So these vehicles, we can charge them, and we have charging stations right here that we can hook up to and charge these vehicles anytime. We're going to show that here in a minute, I think. So how many of those charging stations do we have around the village?
So we have a total of 9 charging stations. We have one here at the pavilion. We also have a group of 3 of them located at Meadows West, and then we have 3 of them at our dispatch center, basically our security public safety office.
And anybody can use those. If you happen to be visiting the village with an electric vehicle, or you're a resident that's interested in getting an electric vehicle, you can use these. It's not just for public safety, right?
That is correct. We actually got these on a grant, and part of the stipulation for the grant was that they're for public access as well. So the grant kind of paid for them and allowed the public to use them as well. So if you have an electric car, come on down and get charged up.
That's great. All right, so let's take a closer look at the vehicle here. So these vehicles here are pretty new, right? You just got these.
Yes, these are 2020 Nissan Leafs.
Okay. Why don't we can we show it being charged and how that kind of works?
Yes, we can. Let me grab one of our charge cards here.
All right.
So we have to use a department-specific charge card, which is inside this pocket here. It just makes it bigger so that we don't lose it. It can typically go on a key ring. But what we do is, here in a second, I'm going to show you, we're going to wave it in front of there, and it's going to activate the account and start the charge.
All right.
So on our front of our car, go around here. There's a little hatch up in the front that when you open it up, it actually has the charging port right there.
Okay, all right.
So it'll plug into there, and then it'll show 3 lights on the dash to indicate that it's actually charging. So you'll take your card, and you'll hear a beep. There we go. And then it releases the locking mechanism to hold it in place.
Okay.
And there's 6 prongs in there that will actually plug right into the vehicle to where it makes a connection, and then this will lock it in place.
Okay.
So you can't just drive off with it still attached, and
right.
Not like the gas pumps back in the day.
You don't want to be doing that.
So we'll take it, and then it'll plug right in, and then the car will beep, and then 3 lights will indicate on the dash, and it actually shows you the current charge level of high, medium, and low on the dash. So how
long does it take to charge this if you were getting low on battery?
If you were to get to approximately 30%, it would take about 6 hours to actually get a full charge out of it.
So you would mainly do that overnight over at the public safety area? Or?
So what we do is we have 3 vehicles.
Okay.
So we have three patrol cars, but since we only have 2 officers on, the third car remains at public safety and charges.
Okay.
So that when one of the officers' vehicles get about to 50%, we'll go rotate the vehicle out, and that way we always have a vehicle that's constantly charged.
Perfect. All right. Awesome. Thank you. So let's have a look inside the vehicle here. I mean, it's pretty much the same as any regular vehicle. There's nothing really that different about it, right?
Yep. It's pretty much identical to a regular vehicle. We do have some added equipment into it. It does have a backup camera display, which is a lot larger than most vehicles. So it's got a 7-inch display screen for the backup camera, so make sure we don't run into anything. We do have our light bar and siren control box like a regular patrol vehicle would, and our radio communications for...
Would you be able to turn the lights on for us so everyone
Yep.
can see the lights?
Yep, we can definitely do that. I'll have to disconnect the charger real quick.
Okay.
Vehicles, so the thing about these vehicles is it ensures that you cannot drive with it plugged in. So in order to turn the car on, you actually have to unplug from the charging station. So that's a good safety feature.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
you don't forget to unplug it.
All right, there we go. There's the light bar activated on the top. Hopefully you can see that on the video just fine. And then we also have a siren as well for any time you need to attend an emergency situation. There's also a siren, just like a regular public safety security or police vehicle.
Correct.
All right. That's awesome. Thanks very much. Okay, Mike, thanks very much for showing us how the lights work and how we plug into the vehicles there. That's really interesting, and it's great to see these vehicles out and around the village. We had another question for you. How much do you think we're saving by switching to these electric vehicles?
So when we switched to the electric vehicles, we did a cost analysis between the Chevy Equinoxes and the new electric vehicles, and due to the fact that we're actually on a lease with these vehicles, all the maintenance and the repairs is covered under warranty. So we're actually saving money there, but we did a cost analysis and it's about $30,000 a year is what we're saving instead of having a regular gas vehicle. So it actually, in turn, with the warranties on the repair work and the $30,000 savings, the vehicles are actually pretty much costing the village nothing.
Okay, that's great, fantastic, and it's just been such a great thing to switch to a car like this, not only for the environment but also to save money for the village and to have these brand new vehicles pretty much running around the village and taking care of our residents.
Yep, it's a great pleasure to drive them.
All right, thanks a lot today, Mike. Thanks for answering our questions for us today, and thanks for showing us around the vehicle.
All right, thank you for your time.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Behind the Scenes with John Knox Village. I really hope you enjoyed the video. There's a couple of things I wanted to point out to you. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and the best way to do that is to click on the red subscribe button that you see. You can also click on the little bell icon that you see next to there. And if you do that, you'll receive notification every time we post a new video to YouTube. Now, you're not going to see that if you're watching on your TV, but if you're watching on your phone or on your computer, you'll see that. Okay, another thing you can do is like our videos. You can also comment on your videos if you want and share them. So there you go. That's the best way to keep in touch with our videos and keep in touch with what's happening at John Knox Village. We hope to see you again next time. Okay, have a good day. We'll see you soon.